A few weeks ago I was enjoying a little bit of prospecting in Gold Canyon, and I wanted to share a bit of that time with you. At this point, water has begun to flow in the creek, though it is still not very much. Know that as you enter the canyon, for the first quarter mile above the drainage lake, it is highly possible that you will see no water. Yet there could be a modest flow just a little bit above that. So never judge the presence of water in this creek by what you see in the strait of the canyon just above the lake. If you go back to earlier videos I have made, I have given coordinates on a bench that I was visiting for quite a while last year and the year before. From those past directions, walk west and flat on the bench until you come to a promontory that sticks out and overlooks the creek straight down by maybe 100 feet. This is the area I limited today's visit to. Everywhere you look out here, you will find evidence of mining done 150 plus years ago. The old-timers here were quite thorough. Maybe they were Chinese. And if you happen to work on an area they have previously visited, you will find only a pittance of microgold, and that's if you are lucky. So, how do you find gold in an area such as this? I think there are three things to consider. Firstly, analyze where they have already dug and avoid those areas. Secondly, always sample pan. And finally, as you dig, be very aware of what you are digging in and through. So let's go back to number one. Analyze where they have dug. Firstly, all those rock piles on flats, don't bother to dig into them. Those miners planned exactly how they would attack these areas and were highly analytical about where they placed the rocks as they moved them, so that it would never interfere or cover areas they had yet to work. Now, this is important. Understand that they worked areas beyond the fringes of their rock stackings. So it would be logical that the borders of their final stackings came from some other place where today you would not see rocks removed. So count on the fact that their workings go beyond the stackings that you see. The real question then becomes, how far? And there is no way to answer this other than to sample pan and be very attentive as to what type of dirt you are digging in. And these are the second two considerations I offered just a bit earlier. Now the bedrock is right underneath. There it is. That's part of it right there. But you can see I had pretty good luck here. There's a lot of rounded little pebbles and things here, here. Now, this area that I'm uncovering at the moment, though, if I come over here, I'm not seeing much of anything. Once I get past this little top layer and I'm down to, there's the bedrock right there. I'm not really getting any kind of a rock at all. And so I think I'm led to believe that this area and this just little sector here is not virgin. Somebody's been over it before. We'll sample this out, and if that's the case, then I'll quickly move on. So here is a still of the area we were just looking at, and you can see that once you uncover the very top strata, which does have some gravel, you get to the layer next to the bedrock, and it is completely void of any type of rock, river or not. Don't spend your time in an area like this. It has been played before. The river rock that covers the most superficial layer has probably been blown into place by winds over the past 100 years. Below that is nothing but sand and dust. Now, as I said, the old-timers didn't get all the gold, even in spots like this. but your sample pan will still be disappointing. This was reduced from a very full pan of material. So here we are at the very end of the promontory, and again we have come to an area just above the bedrock which is void of any type of gravels. Again, all we have here is a sandy consistency. Stay away from this stuff. Contrast the last frame with this. Even in the cleared areas, we see an abundance of fine rounded gravels. This is an excellent sign. So you'd be surprised, even in areas where the bedrock comes all the way to the surface, and you've just got a little bit of topsoil over the top of that, you can sometimes remove quite a bit of dirt, and it can be well worth your while. So even though areas like this are very superficial, take your time and milk them for what they're worth. Other than the cleared area you just saw, I did not work with any of that exposed bedrock. There is not a huge amount of gold in this immediate area. There is just not enough volume of dirt. But if you are just interested in finding solid color, as of now, this is a good spot to visit. This pan shows the color I found, limiting myself to just a few hours of leisurely working this area.